I got some pixels in. 2,000 to be exact. Roll the new intro. Hey everyone, thanks for watching Bridgeport's Brightest Lights, and in this video I'm going to be showing you some of the pixels that I got for this year's light show. So I got this box in front of me with all of these pixels, and I also got some snowflakes in there for the light show, and I'm going to be opening them and testing them, making sure they all work, and then right after this video I'm going to put out a little teaser for what next year's light show is going to look like. So stay tuned to the end of the video, and I'll be showing you some of the stuff that I'm going to put in the light show and explaining it all. So let's get started by opening this box. What I got right here is 2,000 pixels over here, and then I have my controller and a power supply, and I have my little Raspberry Pi here so I can talk to the controller, and then I'm going to be testing all of the pixels through these pigtails. Now I have the controller set for its lowest brightness setting, so hopefully it won't blow out the camera, and I'm going to be testing 500 pixels on each port at 10% brightness. So if I did my calculations correctly, I should be able to test all of these at once. So I'm going to test them all at once, make sure they all work. Then I'm going to up the brightness to 40% brightness where I run them, test less of them at once, but make sure that they can go up to higher brightness settings. And then I might even test them at 100% brightness to make sure that they completely work. So I'm going to start unraveling the pixels and wrapping them up the way that I like it, and then I'm going to be plugging them into the controller to make sure that they all work, and then we can move on. So let's do that. Just wondering why did I unwrap them and then wrap them up a different way. I like my pixels wrapped up a certain way so I can get to them easier. What I do is I put my hand out and I hold onto the pigtail and I start wrapping them around my hand about 10 times, then wrapping them the other way, so it's basically like a ball of yarn. So it looks like it's in a big knot, but it's actually not. It makes it easier to take care of, and all I need to do is just unwrap them so they're not in a big knot. And I always start with the female pigtails, so I have the male pigtail at the end, so I can plug them right in case I need to test them without unraveling them. And then I try to keep the female pigtail out like this in case I want to daisy chain them to plug them all in together. Okay, so I just wrapped all of the pixels up and put them in the way I like them, and I have 4 strings right here. 4 strands. I have 4 different pigtails, and there are 5 strands of 4 strands of 500 pixels. So I have them all plugged in, and right away you can notice 1 pixel turns on, and I'm not sending any data to them. They just have power, and that is a sign of a dead pixel. So that means that pixel is probably dead, and that's the only one that lit up. But there still could be dead ones out there. So I'm probably gonna have to return that pixel, that set of pixels, or do something about it. So if I did all my calculations right, I have all of the lights on 10%, and it shouldn't be too much current for the power supply, and it should stay under 5 amps for each 5 amp fuse that is on each port. So now let's get started and start testing them. Okay, drum roll please. Wow. Okay, that's a whole lot of pixels, and even at 10% it is blowing out the camera. So the back pixels are not lighting up. So that is port, what port is that? That's on port 14. So port 13, 15, and 16 are working. All of those pixels from where I can see. Over here, they all look good too. I'm gonna check each individual pixel to make sure that they work in a little bit, but that strand isn't working. And I think it's because this dead pixel, it's not letting the data pass through there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take out that strand and only have 400 here to test the other 400 pixels to make sure that they work. So let me turn off this test first. And I'm going to take this set of pixels and unplug them, put them out of the way, and I'm going to plug in the other strands that hopefully work. Make sure that they work. So let me get this plugged in. Okay, I don't see any pixels lighting up there, so that's good. Okay, let's see if those 400 work. Okay, so it looks like those 400 work. So all we had a problem with is just one set of pixels. So I will be calling the person that I got these from to make sure that I can get a different set or something. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug all of these and test as many as I can on one port at 40% brightness and look at them all to make sure that they all work. So let me go ahead and do that. So I've already gone ahead and tested all those pixels, and they do work at 40% brightness and 100% brightness. So I only had problems with that one strand, and I did contact the person I got them from to see if I can get a different strand. Now I've already started to do some stuff with the pixels, like put them in this snowflake. So I got the 3 other snowflakes, so I have 2 of each kind. This is the same one as this one over here. And it was a pain trying to put in all these pixels, and my hands still hurt from doing it. And it looks like a crazy mess on the back with all the different wire and stuff. And I have some temporary tape holding the pigtails on and where 2 strands met. So I do hope to put out a video on how to wire all these together and put the pixels on and show you how to do that. And now I'm going to show you a quick video of how cool these look with the song.
It was Christmas, Christmas every day. We could just let it snow forever and live on holiday. There would be presents every morning, under every tree. Oh, Santa Claus, if I could have my way. I wish it was Christmas every
So now I'm going to go into X-Lights and show you what I hope to do for this year's light show. So here we are inside of X-Lights, and this is my new light show X-Lights for this year's light show. And I have all of the controllers set up, and now I'm going to show you what I want the house to look like in the layout tab for next year. So let this load. So this is what I want it to look like. So if you saw the part 2 of the behind the scenes light show, you will know how I use X-Lights and made my layout on the house. And this is what I want it to look like. Don't worry about these 2 big white dots there, nothing. So these are the 6 snowflakes that I showed you. I hope to put them right here. I hope to get 2 more arches, and I'm gonna move the 2 arches that were over here up here and put a 12-foot tall tree with a 3-foot tall star on top. That's what I'm hoping to do right here. I'm still gonna have my projector, and I'm still gonna have the lights around the windows and the door. And then I want to put lights around the whole roof. And then I want these 3 weird looking things right here. What these are called singing faces. So it's a big light bulb shape with eyes and different mouths on it, so I can make it sing with the music to make it look cool. So, like, for a song, I could make the mouth open and close, and it has a bunch of different movements. So for, like, if it's saying an O, it would have an O on it. If it was saying like a letter where your mouth is open, it would open, and the eyes can even blink, so that's really cool. And then the tree that I want, the tree with the star, is gonna be almost 2,100 pixels. I want the tree to have 2-inch pixel spacing, so there's going to be lights every 2 inches up and down, and then going side to side there's going to be 24 strands. So if I zoom in on that, the tree is really dense, and I hope to make it look really cool. And then if I zoom out of the tree and zoom into the star up here, the star has 6 strands around, so 6 different layers, and each layer has a different amount of pixels on it. So this is what I want it to look like next year, and I've already started doing some sequencing, and it looks really cool on it. So if you want to see what it would look like with music to it, you can watch the next video, but wait till I'm done with this one, and then when I'm done with this, you can go watch the video after this of what it would look like. And I show 2 parts of a song on the house. So this is what I want it to look like next year, and it's the total amount of pixels is going to be somewhere around, I hope to have at least 3,000 pixels, but if I am able to do all of this, it's going to be close to 4,000. And last year we only had 479, so it's going to be really cool if I can do all this. And that big box like that I got all the pixels out of is 2,000 pixels, so I still need to buy more pixels and buy a lot of other stuff. I am hoping to do some videos explaining how to completely use X-Lights and all of the different settings for someone who is just getting it, and I hope to do some other videos explaining how to use pixels and stuff. So I stay tuned for those, and I hope to do those soon. So this is what it's going to look like for the house, and it's going to be really cool. So go ahead and watch the next video now, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, subscribe and leave a like, and other than that, I'll see you next time.